What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ty with the GoPro strapped to my head, and this is the all-new 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan. And today, we're going to be taking this for a test drive in first-person POV fashion. Now, quickly before we get out on our test drive, I'm going to do a super quick features walkthrough. However, if you're interested to know all about this vehicle, all the features, all the specs, things like that, all the different camera views and seats and all that stuff, check out my channel where I have done a full features review on this very car. You know, open all the doors, all that stuff. And you could see that also, and a link to the end of this video. So let's get straight into it. So yes, for 2025, the Tiguan is completely new. It is a completely different body, new engine, all that good stuff. And we have this one here in the most exciting trim, at least for me, as of now. This is the SE R-Line black trim. So obviously blacks out a lot of stuff up front. We even have the little R logos on the front kind of top part of the grille. New headlights, new hood design. It seems like it's a little bit more of a shorter vehicle than before. I'm not sure that it actually is or if it's just styling. That's what it looks like to me. And we have these really attractive 20-inch wheels. I mean, these might even be my most favorite wheels that I've seen on a vehicle in a very long time. So 20-inch wheels, 255/40 rubber, and you have these kind of glossy black wheel arches, glossy black down the side with your mirrors, roof rails. You got a panoramic roof. And this particular vehicle stickers for $39,241 with a couple of accessories and things like that, including a $1,400 destination fee. Monterey blue is the color on this vehicle, and I can't say that I've seen another Tiguan in a different color. These things are just hitting showrooms. It looks fantastic in this color, especially with that SE R-Line trim. We have a full light bar in the back. The SEL R-Line trim comes with a bit more features and things like that. Illuminated Volkswagen emblems, more ambient lighting, all that stuff. And this one is a 4Motion all-wheel drive vehicle too. You can get them in front-wheel drive. I think this Tiguan looks awesome. What do you guys think? Power trunk comes on the SE and above trim levels, so obviously this one has it. Nice and roomy in the back, 60/40 split seats with the little handles where you could do so. Illumination, tons of storage cubbies back here too. There's 1, 2, 3 storage cubbies. There's still a spare tire underneath there, so pretty nice looking storage area. And the Tiguan's always been kind of a big vehicle for the segment, and this one continues with that. There is tons of space in the back. I mean, I'm 5'10", and I fit back there perfectly with like 5 inches of legroom to spare. You also have this pretty cool texture back here too. Air vents, chargers, and I'd say there's definitely enough space to fit a third person back here. Pretty solid doors. And the main event, very nice controls, and they didn't really skimp out on some things. Like Volkswagen's been doing this weird thing where they only put 2 window switches, even though 4 windows could go down and you have to press this button. None of that in this car. So it's a still pretty straightforward vehicle with a few exceptions. Seats are really nice up front. You have a combination of like a dark gray with some suede and then black on the outside with contrast stitching. Fully powered with 2-way lumbar. All right, enough of the nonsense with features. Let's get this thing started up. Seatbelt fastened. And we'll use this new gear selector to put us in drive. All right, driving the new Tiguan. Here we go. So a little bit of a background. I am a big Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche, all those brands. I am a big fan of those vehicles. And honestly, for a little while, I think Volkswagen was not really heading the right direction. But now I have completely changed my mind. I really like this new Tiguan. This is really the first time I got my hands on it, other than being at the New York Auto Show, but that's kind of hard to judge a car there because there's people crawling all over the place, and you really can't, you know, vehicles aren't necessarily powered on sometimes. But really impressed with this vehicle. I could even say that I might even be able to see myself driving this car one day, when children come, more expenses come, things like that. I definitely think I could drive this car one day. I do like it that much. But a little overview of our test drive. Right now we are kind of on more of a main road, so traffic conditions given, hopefully we'll get it up to 40, 45, maybe even 50 miles an hour. We'll see what it's like at those speeds. I have driven my fair share of previous generation Tiguan, so I know exactly what that car drives like. And so far, what I could say is the seats definitely feel a little bit more comfortable than the previous generation Tiguan. It also seems like it's got a little bit better sound insulation too, meaning that the tires and the, you know, the sound insulation from the oncoming traffic is a little bit better. The older Tiguan was also a little bit loud in the engine department. It seems like that's quieted down a little bit. The steering wheel feels very similar. And right now we are in, let's see here, comfort mode. So we're going to switch it on over to sport mode in just a bit. Now this new Tiguan has this really cool dial down here where it's actually adjustable, so you can use it as a volume knob. Then you could press it in and use it to adjust your driving modes, or what Volkswagen calls atmospheres. You'll see a little bit more about that in our features explanation video. But at this point, we're going to press in our knob. We're going to put it over into sport mode. We're also going to change up our gauge view a little bit too, to this one. What we'll do is we'll get it up to 25 miles an hour and just hit the throttle, see how fast we can get up to speed. So we'll do our acceleration test right now. So yeah, I mean, one of the complaints from some people was a little bit lackluster acceleration from the previous generation Tiguan. This new one does have a little bit more power and torque, so that seems to have been fixed. We'll drive it around a little bit more here to see what it feels like. But this one has 201 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque. So in theory, that should be plenty of power for a vehicle this size. You can definitely hear that turbo spool up. I mean, it sounds like a snake hissing. It's the best way I could describe it, but you could hear that. There's not much other noise in here, though. It really does drive a little bit more expensive than the rest of the competition does. Definitely extremely solid. I mean, we have some pretty large wheels on this car, 20-inch wheels. But you can barely feel the road. The ride quality is definitely pretty good. Steering weightens up ever so slightly with the addition of sport mode. Now these kind of atmospheres that Volkswagen has, they also adjust the driving mode of the car. So you can have like a lounge atmosphere, which will keep the car in comfort mode. And you could select like energetic atmosphere, which actually increases the volume of the stereo and sharpens up throttle response, stuff like that. So it's a pretty kind of like an all-inclusive sport mode, not just the engine and steering and stuff. It's kind of all-inclusive. Pretty cool. I like that there. So as I said before, the seats definitely feel more comfy than the previous Tiguan, which is good. I like the new turn signal noise. It's a little bit more of a subtle noise than the one before. And I also like how they included all physical buttons on the steering wheel. Some of the Volkswagen models were going to like the touch capacitive buttons, which I really was not a big fan of. These are all flat plastic, not glossy black. which is awesome. And there is still a bit of glossy black in this interior, but not to the extent where it's like, okay, this is ridiculous, it's gonna look terrible in a year from now with all the dust and scratches. There's really not that much glossy black in here, which is a big plus. The gear shifter being over here is a little bit of an adjustment, kind of a twisty deal for the gear selector, which means our wipers and everything have migrated over here to your turn signal stalk, which is fine. It's just an adjustment. Now, the one letdown for me, at least, is the climate controls. I mean, it is probably the best integration of climate controls in the touchscreen, but physical climate controls are still my preference. You know, I still don't like the fact that if you want to change the fan speed, you have to click this and then turn it down. It should really just be one twist of a knob or a press of a button. You shouldn't have to do 2 steps for what used to be 1. They did improve the screen a little bit from the Volkswagen that I owned, which was a 2024 Golf R, which had infuriating controls in the touchscreen. These are a little bit better, where you have a quick access to the auto start stop right there. You can turn it on and off, and also quick access to the heated seats, which was a double press thing in my Golf R. It's now just a single press, still on the touchscreen, but it is a single press. Alright, let's calm this thing down and put it back into comfort mode. Yeah, I really do enjoy the driving experience of this car. It's a good blend of comfort, mostly comfort, but a little bit of sporty mixed in there. And it's a really, really good looking car inside and out. You know, I appreciate the materials, the different kind of appointments in here. I like the gray seats rather than the whole car being black on the inside, and it's just a really good looking car on the outside. I think they hit the nail on the head with the styling on this car. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what yours are, and that pretty much does it for our test drive. I thank each and every one of you for watching this test drive video, and also encourage you to click on the link that should be showing up right about now for the full features review. And again, thank you very much for watching.